Hello, hello, hello. It is Michelle here with Shumimi's Garden Party for a day of cleanup. Let's get this garden ready and prepped for planting. Now, first off, I'm over by the compost area preparing all the food scraps and paper plates, and all the waste lint in that black bag from the dryer to put into the compost bin, ready to break it down so that I can feed my plants. Now, that bin has a lot of things in it that have been sitting there for a year at least, cold composting, and I'm continuing on with cold composting. Right now, I have no grass, I have no lawn in the backyard, and I have landscapers that cut the front. And I have asked them in the past not to put anything on the lawn, but I have not been around to see what they're doing. So I'm not collecting from the front yard. So I'm not sure if they continue to not put anything on my lawn like I've asked in the past. Anyway, what I'm putting in the compost bin right now are food scraps. I'm picking through the bag of lint from the dryer, making sure that it's just lint and not any other kind of debris. I don't want hair in the compost bin just because I'm not sure how well that breaks down or how fast, and I don't want any strings of hair in the compost. Now I'm gonna put all that into the bin. It'll break down over time, like I said, cold composting, because I'm not really paying too much attention to the green and brown ratio, but I am making sure to put greens and browns. You don't want all greens because then the pile will become anaerobic and very smelly and not good for your plants. So that's what I'm doing here, cleaning up, and then I'm going to add the paper plates. I think actually at this point there are paper plates lining as like a cover over the food scraps to kind of mask the smell so as not to attract any animals. But I'm going to use this brown paper, which is packing paper from various Amazon packages and other things that are delivered. It's dry paper. There's no coating, no wax coating or any waterproof coating or anything like that. No print on it, no tape. And I'm going to rip up this part and put it in there to increase the surface area of the paper so that it breaks down a little bit quicker. And then I'm going to use the other larger piece again to cover the food scraps that I just put in there, just to kind of serve as an additional barrier, maybe mask the smell a tiny bit, or at least make it harder to go through, like it maybe absorb some of the liquid, you know what I mean. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm laying the paper over the top to serve as a barrier, and then I'm going to keep the wood pieces over the top to minimize how much water. I'll probably come back a little bit later in the day to water the whole pile, make sure that it's moist, because you do still need to make sure, even with cold composting, that you maintain a level of moisture so that the things can continue to break down. So now here we are getting ready to get rid of all the junk. This is a crate full of some solar lights that I have planned to hang over the back fence and make the area a bit nicer, but never really got to it. So putting that to the side, and this persimmon tree, this unfortunate persimmon, is dead. So there's not much I can do about that. So we're gonna just get rid of it, move it out of the space so that we can clean up. I mean, that's the whole point of this work I'm doing today, just trying to get the area clean, clear up the debris. There are a lot of branches from the Jerusalem artichoke that I have growing in that corner and behind the shed. So I've got to get rid of those things. I'm moving now the pot with thyme in it, and that bigger plant is the gooseberry. Sorry, is it a Hinamaki red gooseberry. Just moving that out of the garden. That was also something that had to be moved from another area in order to make space for the construction work that we did. So yeah, this is my space that I've been gardening in for well, over 20 years now, and every year I have waited. I always wait till the spring to clean up. I do as much as I can to pull things out of the ground in the fall at the end of the season, but many years everything stays in until the spring. Kind of my way of leaving as much organic matter in the soil for all the microbiome, the worms, and all the bugs to break down, like the roots that are on the ground. But this year it looks like I cleaned up earlier. I do believe that I pulled things out of the ground at the end of the season. It is recommended to leave the roots in the ground. But what I find is that they don't fully break down completely by the new season. So I prefer to pull them out, because when you're digging to put new plants in, you're finding a lot of debris and organic matter, which is good for the soil, but then there's like a barrier for the roots of the new plants to really maneuver and get through. I just feel like it's in the way. So over the winter, over the late fall and winter months, very early spring months, I leave it in the ground, and the life in the soil, they get what they can from it, and in the spring I take it out. So here I'm cleaning up this back corner, gathering all the branches from the Jerusalem artichoke so that I can bag it up and get it out of the garden. They would be a good candidate for a compost pile. However, I really feel that I would need to break them up into much smaller pieces, and I just didn't want to do that right now. Or the best position in the compost bin would be on the bottom to serve as a way of allowing airflow in the bottom of the bin, and just because they take longer to break down. The stems of the Jerusalem artichoke, as you know, or may or may not know, they are in the sunflower family. So if you've ever grown sunflowers, you know when they die, there's this big stalk. They are very similar, but not as strong. So they become very brittle over time. So what I would do, maybe if I were to break them into smaller pieces, then I could put them in the compost bin now. But I'm not going to do that here. I'm just going to get a bag and pack them in the bag and get them out of the way. So this here is a lemon balm plant. It was in the way last year of the squash that I grew in this area. So I'm taking it out and I'm going to put it in a new home. I'm not getting rid of my lemon balm. I'm just rehoming it, repositioning it to another spot. This location just doesn't really work. So you're basically taking all the roots as far as down as I can and pulling up the whole plant. Lemon balm is really, really good for you. Very fragrant. It's amazing in teas. Can be used culinary as seasoning. I like to collect them and dry them, and primarily I use it for tea. So I'm just going to put it over in the pot that's off to the side there, and I'll figure out where I can put it later. Once everything is clean, then I'll have a better idea of where I want to put everything. Okay, let's see what next. You'll see a lot of, that's another solar light, and I accidentally cut the panel. So I've got to see if I can fix that at another time. I'm moving the irrigation tubing away. And if you notice on the ground, there are a lot of little green plants coming up. I had fennel in that area before. It's sown all of the seeds, and a bunch of tiny fennel plants just popping up everywhere. This is another lemon balm plant that I'm going to take out and relocate as well. It just makes it easier to put everything together that belongs, so to speak, there. The herbs, I'd rather they be more in the front where they're easier to get to. This way it's easier when it comes time to harvest them, and I'm not having to climb and step over vines, because what I do plan to put a lot of are pumpkins and squash. My goal is to have a lot of things that I can put away with long-term storage and use throughout the winter and early spring months from the garden this summer. So winter squash, pumpkins, things of that nature. I also would like to plant watermelon and melons. So a lot of vining plants I intend to place here. So this lemon balm is in the way. I think I put one of the plants in the green stalk, and the other one I just moved it forward. Yeah. So this could be quite the daunting task, but we're going to get through it one day at a time, one step at a time. So when the weather allows and when your energy is just right, get to a task, get through it, and you'll get to your ultimate goal by the end of the season. I hope that this inspires you. Enjoy watching and let it motivate you to get your tasks, your daunting tasks, your overwhelming tasks done. I'd like to see my accomplishment and want to make it look nice and neat and pretty, just so that I can see what I've done and feel good about what I've done. So that's all I'm doing here, just evening things out and getting rid of all my footprints in the soil. So that is it for today. I hope that you're inspired to get to work in your garden, no matter what that work is. It's getting late in the season, but it's not too late to put something in the ground. Just figure out how many days you have left till the frost comes again in October or November, or even September, wherever you live. And take a look at the back of those seed packets, or do a little Google search and see how many days it takes for that thing to grow to harvest time. And if you have enough time left, if you have 100 days, if you have 150 days, if you have 200 days, if you have no limit, put something in the ground. Whether you're buying plant starts from the farmer's market or your big box store, or you're starting some summer crops from seed, get something in the ground. You can do it. There's time. It's never too late. Well, until the frost comes.